Hi there.
Hey, Michelle. Hi, Priyanka.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, this is
Uh,
fun starting off our Friday like this.
right?
With
Yeah.
a chat about slowing down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So we're here to talk about Slow the Fuck Down. Our workshop is coming up on October 19th, and we have a whole fun story we'll probably share on that day around why we chose that particular word to be in our title. But today we just want to just talk a little bit, like show our faces, show our energy, bring you in that way, talk about what we do, why we do it, how we're bringing that into this event together, and also our own experiences with burnout, stress, not taking the time to care for ourselves, despite what the fact that we're caretakers and this is what we do for other people.
Yes.
Um, yeah, yeah. So who would like to start?
I'll go ahead.
Okay.
So, for everybody out there, my name is Miriam Martinez, and I am a licensed therapist and an art therapist and a creative well-being coach for women. And what I love doing, what my passion is helping women tap into their body wisdom, their innate knowing. And I do that through the process of creative expression, blend that in with a whole lot of stuff, mindfulness, somatic work, and really just incorporating, all of our being, so that we can improve ourselves, our well-being, and just feel more confident overall. And I am excited about this day retreat, right, for many reasons. But for me, it's because when we came together, right, it actually was kind of easy to come up with the title because the question in the air was, what do we want to give women? Right. And I don't know who said it first. I don't think it matters. I just know that it just glued right away, right? It just kind of stuck. And we all three of us were like, yes, that's exactly what we want. We want people to slow the fuck down. We want women to slow the fuck down. So I'm really excited about it.
Yay. Well, I'm Michelle, and I do a lot of things as well. I'm a licensed psychotherapist, a trauma specialist, and I'm also a deep body facilitator. And so a lot of my work is about creating that bridge between our beautiful, juicy thinking minds and this deep well of wisdom that we have in our soma, in our bodies. And I think the main reason I want to bring in a movement meditation into this process is because we can't think our way through this shit. Like it has to land in the body. We have to, how do we even know we're relaxed? Like we have to stop and check in and like, oh, my shoulders are dropped and my breathing is a little deeper and I'm noticing, less thoughts and more just presence or whatever it might be. So this changed me and my life to get out of my thinking brain. I love my brain, my intellect. I love learning and all of the things, but my body was really rebelling against how much time I was like cut off at the neck. So I know for me, coming into the body is so much more rejuvenating to my system and really supports me in doing the work that I do and being present and in my relationships and all of the things. So yeah, and the F word is my favorite word. So
Same.
it had to be part of the title. I mean,
Yeah, I think so.
Hello, everyone. My name is Priyanka Varma, and I am a pain therapist. Um, and my work is a combination of yoga therapy, which I'm a certified in, yoga therapy, Pilates, functional movement, energy healing, sound therapy, and the combination of breath work, everything together. And I bring the pain management skills to people. Mainly I specialize in working with people having chronic pain, chronic conditions like arthritis and chronic spinal conditions and medical trauma. Um, and like same vein as Miriam and Michelle was was saying, it's our body's own healing powers that we tap into and get the relief, or from stress or pain, or you name it. It's all within us.
Yeah.
And it's just a question of tapping into that power and getting the relief from it. So basically, I'm a closeted F word stayer, but I have been with in the company of great people. I have come out of my closet and said the word very openly.
Yay, embrace the F word.
I think the F word is a stress reliever. Like for me,
Exactly.
it's a stress reliever, right?
100%.
Exactly. So, and I'm looking forward to bringing, starting the day with that grounding and
Mhm.
just being present, like Michelle said, being present in your body
Mhm.
and finding that spark within us that we know is there, but we are rushing around in this doing, juggling so many balls at the same time that we don't stop and think about ourselves. Just taking that moment to ground ourselves and say, ah, I'm
And
here.
land.
We land.
It's
Yes.
it's so funny as you said that. I'm thinking of a story of a client who came in and really kind of crawled up into the corner of my couch and wanted to just rest. Like that's what she needed. It was just rest. And it was so fascinating because we had this conversation around how like she was paying me good money to basically sit on my couch and zone out for 90 minutes. And we used brain spotting and different tools to help her, like zero in on it. But it was fascinating because the conversation was like, I'll pay you to sit with me in my pain, but I'm really resistant to paying you to let me rest.
Mhm.
Let this be a space where I can just rest because I can't do it at home and I can't do it in my car and, or any of these other places. Like I just need a place where I can be witnessed in my rest. And it was a really powerful experience.
Yeah, no, it's so true. Because what was going through my head was that, for me anyway, and I think you guys share the same idea, is that for so long, women have been conditioned to not be connected to their body.
Right.
Right. And so oftentimes, to even suggest being in your body, for so many women, they're kind of looking at me like, I don't even know what you mean.
Exactly.
Like, what is that? And so that is a process that has to be learned, but as we keep having these experiences, like our day retreat, and daily practices that you can incorporate into your life, ideally you're getting more and more connected to your body and then tapping into that wisdom. So for me, the art and the creativity is a really important piece because it helps women get out of their head. Right,
Yes.
because this isn't an art class. I'm not asking you to paint a sunflower. I'm just asking you to either doodle away or splash some paint around and let go.
Yeah.
Right. And how hard that experience is for so many of us. And for me, it's like, well, right, that's actually what you're exercising right now, is
Yeah.
letting go, right? And learning how to do that so that you can feel how good it feels to let go and hopefully seek that more, in your everyday life.
Exactly. I joke with clients that like our default setting is like this big old Buffy, Arnold Schwarzenegger arm over here, and that the neural pathway of rest and relaxation and calm is like this puny little weak arm that we have to work out. We have to build it up so that my brain actually feels like in this stress response in this moment, I have a choice. It's not so hard to think about going into rest because I've actually been building that muscle, and it's so much easier to just go, you know what? I could go some more, or I could just go out into the hammock in the backyard and swing a little. No intention, no thoughts, no podcast, nothing. Just swinging.
Just swinging, just being.
Yeah.
just
Exactly.
being, right? But it goes back to, that conditioning about, how that's lazy, or, you're not being productive and you could be more productive right now, and all of that stuff that, creates guilt for women, and, all of this unnecessary stuff, but like we're saying, the more we put these things into practice, then ideally we're feeling the relief and the benefit of it.
Yeah.
Kind of like, you have your like when you get in the car, you have to develop, like you said, develop that muscle. When you get in the car, this is automatic, a seatbelt, you
Mhm.
check your mirrors, and it's not conscious anymore. It's like
Exactly.
automatic thing that's happening. The same way when you get into stress mode, there's all these practices that you come up with. Oh, I could do that. I
Yeah.
could do that. So I
Yeah,
guess
have
it's
some power.
have some power over that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember one of my clients I was working with, and she um we were doing the practice, and was just asking her to breathe through this whole, like, whatever we were doing, the practice. And at the end of the session, she started crying and said, I have not felt so in my body that I do by breathing,
Yeah.
just slowing down and taking that breath, and just
Yeah.
like, we
Yeah.
don't realize how many things we are holding in,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because we are, like you said, Miriam, we are taught as, to kind of go, go, go all the
Mm-hmm.
time. And as women, just keep it all in,
Mm-hmm.
you're not,
Yeah, and be
and
caretakers
be
and prioritize
caretakers,
everybody
right?
Don't
else.
be angry.
And then
Don't be,
we can't have any feelings really. I mean, we can cry, but then that's weak,
Right.
right? And so it's a conundrum.
Yes, it is. It is.
But I
Yeah.
was thinking about it in terms of like my own, slowing the fuck down, and what I strive for and what I struggle with,
Yeah. Yeah.
because in my head, you know, in my head, I aim pretty high, that I'm gonna really spend time with myself, that I'm gonna be checking in with myself during the day, that I'm gonna have these practices, whatever. And I do. I think I take actually pretty good care of myself. I have creative practices, I move my body, music, whatever. I have my resources. But I do notice, right, because this is just what brains do, that if the stress reaches a certain level of intensity, right, like my body starts to shut down and like check out.
Yep. Yep.
Right. And that's when I'll start going on my phone more, and it's like endless scrolling, or, just doing something that's like not really actually like helpful or benefiting me,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
some way. And so that's, I think, what most of us struggle with. Right. But again, I feel like it's that regular
Yeah.
practice
Yeah.
and that awareness, and for me, right, like that self-compassion, so that if I, catch myself going down that rabbit hole again, it's just like, oops, just
Yeah.
put your phone down now, right? Like no big deal, just stop right now, it's okay.
Yeah, what you're bringing up, I think, is really, really important, and the reason we're so focused on the body in this workshop is because, yeah, I can know something intellectually, and the rest of me is just not on board with that same information. And so, what you just described is so deeply important that yes, it's about the practices and all of the things, but it's also about just that simple awareness that I am doing something to check out.
Mm-hmm.
And what am I actually checking out from? And is that actually resourcing to me? I've been in the bath, taken a 20-minute bath. I love baths. I put my essential oils in, I put my Epsom salts in, I do all of the things, and I'm scrolling on my fucking phone. Like, I did not actually relax during that bath. What the hell was the intention? Was there a purpose to my bath? So I think part of what we've all been talking about in this workshop is, how do we make this intentional? How do we slow it down enough to notice, oh, this exercise is actually causing a little bit of a stress response in me? Oh, what can I do if that's happening? Do I need to slow it down? Do I need to go take a break? Do I need to eat something? Like, what's actually happening in my system in this moment? and then that's where the tools come in, right? Like, what can I do about it? And does that actually feel resourcing, right? Because food can be extremely resourcing, and food can also be extremely numbing, right? And scrolling can, 5 minutes of scrolling can let me like release my brain from the thing I was focused on. 5 hours of scrolling is not quite so
Right.
resourcing.
Not as much, not as much.
Not
But
as much.
but
Yeah.
I was thinking about it like in terms of like you're your most powerful witness.
Right. You're the
No
only one that can
no
witness
one
to that
else,
degree.
right, can observe you in this way or
Yeah,
check on you in this
yeah,
way or know you in this way, you know.
yeah,
And I actually
yeah,
think that's really powerful,
yeah,
right? That you could take charge of yourself in that way.
yeah.
So beautiful.
Mhm.
Yeah. And one more aspect of that that I could think of is being non-harming to ourselves,
Mm,
not just in actions, but thoughts, ways how we think of ourselves, our negative
mhm,
talk, our
mhm,
positive,
mhm.
whatever's harming us. It's
Yeah.
practicing that non-harming towards ourselves first before we could go out in the world and
Yeah.
give it to other people. Because we do that. We do that to other people, but we stop thinking about what we are doing to ourselves by doing that.
Yeah, we
So
somehow have like a different set of rules or something,
yeah,
right? Like everybody else gets to have these rules, you know what I mean?
right.
But like my rules are like this, you know? And it's like I'm constantly observing that in my work with women. Like, so you have a different set of rules, you know, and they're
Exactly.
not even like aware, you know, that that's
Exactly.
happening. And so that bridging that,
Mhm.
right, is the work, like you're saying, Priyanka, like the way that you're going to care for other people, like learning how to care for yourself in that way. And because it's new and there's all of this negative stigma around that, you know, that that's selfish or whatever, I think women
Right.
are sometimes really scared,
Yeah.
you know, to care for themselves in that way. Yet that's like your biggest liberation.
Exactly. It's total bullshit that taking care of yourself is selfish. Like, I mean, yeah, and especially for those of us who hold space.
Mhm.
Like, we can only hold the amount of space we've allowed to have held for us. And so if we're not willing to do the work of this, of the relaxing, of, letting it all go, of all of the things, then how we're like we're able to hold space for others, but not to the degree that we could, right?
Yeah.
Because it requires our bodies knowing of that. If I don't know how to relax, I might have strategies I can give you to relax, but you're not going to feel 100% relaxed in my energy because I don't actually know
Absolutely.
how to go there.
Absolutely.
Right. And so I feel like, like Miriam, was talking earlier before before we started recording about how, those of us who are therapists and caretakers and, all of, we're the shittiest at doing this. Like, we preach self-care all day long and we have the hardest time actually doing that,
Yeah.
and some of that's our own crap and our own
Yeah.
histories and blah, blah, blah. But really, yeah, it comes down to are you practicing what you preach? If
That,
you
yeah, that
it
alignment is
work.
what you're talking about. Like that's integrity, right? Like that's living in integrity. And it doesn't mean that you're perfect because we're not trying to model perfection, right? None of us want to be gurus, right? That's not it. It's more
Yeah,
like, look, we're human and we're in the struggle with you.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
right, you can have this experience of feeling more deeply connected with yourself,
And it's
nonetheless.
okay to be vulnerable to that
And
too.
Yeah.
it's okay to be vulnerable to that.
And we've got to do it in community. We're not
Absolutely.
meant to do this by ourselves.
No,
Yes,
we're
we can have
not.
our individual self-care practices, but relaxing in front of other women, letting ourselves be vulnerable in front of other bodies,
Mhm,
regulating with each other, like me coming in like this and then seeing that you two are calm and then being able to naturally settle my nervous system because you are calm and I get
mhm,
to regulate to you. Like,
mhm,
that's what community is for,
mhm.
right? And
And
that's
not feeling alone, right? Like you've seen, like here we are, the three of us talking about like our own struggles with managing our own self-care, right? And it's like we're not, none of us are alone
right.
in that, right? But the more we come together and see each other and witness each other, the stronger we get. I was thinking about self-care as like a revolutionary act. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like that's what it is because the more you care for yourself and the stronger you are, the more you go out into the world and kick some ass, you know? And we need women in leadership desperately,
Yes,
especially minority women, you know?
yes,
So
yes.
it's just a way of seeing that
Yeah,
it's not about just you. That's why it's not selfish.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
a public service act.
Yes, yes. Love that. I love that. All right, so yeah, let's wrap it up. Any final words? Anything else that we want to share? We're so excited. We've spent the last few months coming together. We did it in fun, restful ways, like by the pool and floating in the pool and try to
And
practice
keeping ourselves in alignment. Did we
exactly.
head up a little bit too much?
Even in
Yes,
creating it, like
absolutely. Yeah.
took our time. We let it be spacious. We let it be fun, you know. So we're really
I think what
excited.
I would like to say, you know, for anyone that's like, right, because that's what we do, you know, I would say just stop and just do it, right? Because if you've been on the fence about something like this, maybe not necessarily like our offering, but you know,
Right.
something like this for yourself, then maybe it's time, right, to get off the fence and actually like take some action for yourself, you know, and start some kind of new chapter for yourself, you know, in self-care and connection.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Me
Yeah.
too.
I'm
I think
looking
it's going to be a
forward to
great day.
learning from both of you.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, which we
You
talked
know,
about before we started recording
yeah,
too, like that we're there as, you know, the people hosting and offering and leading, right? But we're also there to allow each other to care for ourselves, right? And or for each other, I should say, and model that to the rest of the group.
Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah, for sure.
absolutely,
Yay.
absolutely.
Yay, well, thanks guys. I'm really excited. Looking
Yeah,
forward to it.
October 19th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You'll get the address upon registration. We have until Monday for the early bird $20 off discount. And please join us. We have a few spots left. We're really excited about offering this. It's going to be a wonderful day.
Yeah, me too.
Thank
Me
you.
too. Me three.